Edwards on the drive, goes inside the floater. Turn him over again. Booker scoops it up. Booker brings the boom.
What is up, everyone? We are live breaking down today's NBA slate up the lock for you guys. It's me, it's DC. We got Big T showing up in a little bit, not yet. And I know the chat has been popping off. Apparently, someone scheduled the show for 5 p.m. Eastern when it was not for 5 p.m. Eastern. It was for 6 p.m. Set up the lock. So, yeah, we're here now. We're going up the lock for you guys. Big T will be here shortly. We got a ton of people in the chat already hanging out because they've been sitting here waiting around. DC, I don't know if you noticed in Discord, people were riled up. They were wondering why we weren't live. So, but how are you doing over there?
I'm good here on Friday afternoon. Yeah, the cold about to set in here in Denver. I was actually at the dog park, and it was like sunny and warm. And then like 30 minutes later, you could just feel the freeze, like the cold wind coming in. I'm like, all right. So that's like the next 4 days here in Denver, going to be freezing cold. But we got a good NBA slate. We got football all weekend, UFC Saturday night. No need to go outside for a couple of days. So excited about all the sports. It's a good time of year for sitting on the couch, watching, gambling, all that good stuff, and excited for it. Can I get a guess, Mango? We get to make a little lunch bet here. You have more information than me, but what's the over/under on the time Big T pops into the show? Currently 4:03 here in Denver, where we both are.
Yeah, so I have all the information of what's going on. So he had to pick one of his daughters up at practice at 6 p.m. So, but it's at the school that's very close to his house. I've actually been to the school. Okay. So, I mean,
I thought you were banned from such places, but apparently not.
What?
I thought you were banned from such places, but apparently not.
Yeah, that's going. If I had to set the line, I mean, it's definitely a quick drive. Like it depends on the traffic of like the people picking up their kids, I guess, of like the mosh of just parents. I would say 610 is not a bad line, but I kind of want to go higher for the line. I kind of want to make it like 612.
All right, you say 612, and I got the over. There we go. That's
yeah. I mean, overs. I think 612 isn't bad.
612 and a half, we'll say.
I'm telling you, it's a really quick drive though. Like the school's very close, so as long as he's like he's pretty good at picking up on time. So I'm cool with making the line 612.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So that's the line. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we got some games to break down, and Big T will pop in. He'll break it down while we break it down for you guys. Of course, we got like a Timberwolves slate, which isn't my favorite, DC. I'm sick of these Timberwolves slates. How sick are these Timberwolves slates are you so far?
I don't even like the Timberwolves this year, so I'm kind of sick of them as well. I haven't played them maybe as much as I should have. But yeah, I mean, it is funny. It's just one guy out, right? DiVincenzo, who's not like the main guy on their team anyway, but they just haven't raised the prices on these guys, right? Is the bigger issue. Not that they have so many guys out. Normally, it's the teams are so decimated that you have to play. With the Timberwolves, it's just that they're all so cheap, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just always cheap. And then the DiVincenzo's out. You got dirt cheap Conley, who no one ever wants to play, but he's there, and it's like it's just frustrating. So we'll see what we decide to do with them as we break down the slate. And of course, other news that we are waiting on. Karl-Anthony Towns, he is a game time decision. So we will get that right because that'll be one of the first. Actually, no, it's the not the first game. It's Orlando-Boston's the first game. And then we have 30 minutes, so we won't get that right away. We'll probably have a little bit of a gap. We got Ochai Agbaji, questionable. Aaron Gordon and Jokic, questionable. Which Jokic was a surprise scratch the other day. So that was really interesting. We'll see what people do with him here. And we'll get that news in decent time. So that's at least good. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Brandon Miller, questionable. Talon Horton-Tucker, questionable. Kyrie, John Morant, they're both questionable. And then in the late game, if you're playing any of those slates, Cam Johnson is questionable. So that's mainly the news. DC, anything stick out to you before we dive in?
Yeah, actually, kind of, relative to what it could be, not the most news that we're waiting on, right? We do have a lot of the information that we're going to get, more than you would expect on a big Friday night slate, I think, in general. So, yeah, depending on your perspective on NBA DFS, it's either a good or a bad thing. But yeah, I do think, just starting off that first game of the night, it does seem like one relatively easy to avoid as we wait for more information. Now, I'm assuming that's going to be an approach that you mostly take with Orlando and Boston.
Yeah, when I run everything, right, if I see myself having like a ton of Celtics and Magic, I'm going to ask what's going on. How do I adjust this, right? Like, I don't think it's the correct move, especially if you're playing like, a site like FanDuel where you have maybe more exposure to some of the games. On FanDuel, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games. DraftKings is only 7. So it's still easy, though, to avoid them if you want to. So that's another thing that's worth calling out. But yeah, let's talk about this first game. I'm sure Big T, he won't want to say much about this game. He's got 5 minutes about to hit that to get here. So we'll see if he can get there. I feel like I said I should have made it 6:15, but it is what it is. I set the
line, but that's on you, man. I let you set it.
Yeah, it was probably heavily juiced at that number, right? Like maybe like minus 140. You had to pay the piper a little bit there, but hey, it's worth it when it wins, right?
How about this? How about this real quick? Jimmy Butler returning tonight, which I didn't really expect to see him back in a Heat uniform, to be honest. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I am intrigued by that. I'm curious did you see the information that came out on him? He said like it hasn't even gotten like bumpy yet. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't even started like causing havoc, he said. So we'll see. And he's going to unveil a new color to his hair tonight, which whenever he dyes his hair, it means that's the team he wants to go to, right?
It's like he like Butler is like the most like stubborn person there is. You know what I mean? Like he just once he decides something, like he just is going to do that thing. You saw
I kind of get it. I kind of get it though, because I was actually listening to this on like the Lebertard show, and they're like a Miami-based show, and one of the guys on it basically said the point he made was like everywhere he's gone, he always just gets like they don't pay him the money he wants. They never do. The Timberwolves didn't do it. The Bulls didn't do it. The Sixers didn't do it. So like it's just how he acts. Like I kind of understand why he does it.
You can't. It's part of the whole package you get with Jimmy Butler, right? Like he wasn't like a big prospect, and like part of what makes him great is also what, frankly, makes him an asshole. You know what I mean? When he decides that he doesn't want. So I don't really have interest in paying AK for him. I think he's more likely to like dog it out there, right, and kind of force their hand than like he doesn't. The league knows who he is as a player. He doesn't need to show that he still has it, right? So
not like a Zach LaVine who people are still kind of like, do I actually want to trade for him? You know what I mean? Like we know what Jimmy is.
Right. It's not that there's a lack of suitors for Jimmy Butler. Like teams want him. It's just the Heat, don't want to lose the deal, right?
Well, teams want him, teams would take him, but they're just like, well, I can get him cheap. Like, why would I spend a lot?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's the other issue. And Max, to the point of he's 36 years old, why would you pay him? Like, I get it. Yes, he is older, but like, he's basically saying like, I'm still the guy, and I can still turn the clock, and I can turn it on when I want to. I'd be curious if he turns it on for this game and then like just doesn't give a shit after, because he's going.
That's certainly in play. Like anything's kind of in play for Jimmy Butler. It is kind of a guessing game, but 36. When you like keep yourself in the physical condition that these guys do in this day and age isn't quite the same, right? We see these stars like LeBron and Durant and like they can stay effective into their late 30s. So he's Butler when he wants to play, he's still an awesome player.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about the Orlando game quick while Big T doesn't cash any tickets for the underbetters. Tatum, Banchero, obviously spends you can get to on this slate. I don't see myself getting there, DC. Just not super excited about them. And again, I think this is like an easy kind of fade game. I'm curious to see what you're doing with this game. I assume you're full fading, but it's mainly just, hey, if I get a sprinkle of these studs, sure, they're not the worst plays, but I don't want to load up on this spot.
So I actually like kind of playing like one kind of star from a early start game like this, if there's someone I like, right? Because it does give you some information, seeing how you're doing. But I just don't see going to this game especially if we don't get this news kind of before this, first game locks, obviously at 7 Eastern time. So I'm leaning, again, I always play my 4 lineups. I'm leaning toward not playing anything from this game. If you had to play one piece, I guess we could start there. Who's your individual, one player from this game that you think has the best chance of showing up on the winner? I think is a fair question to ask because everyone from this game is going to be low owned, I believe.
Yeah, I mean it would be a stud.
Tatum's under 10K. I think you could play him.
Yeah, Tatum's fine. I mean, you can make a case for like a Porzingis. He could easily go off in like more of that slower pace, kind of grinded out game. But I don't know. I'm not dying to play this game. That's just the problem. It's not a good game.
Like Banchero, ramping up for a week, but at 8,700, it's just hard. I just don't think I can pull the trigger. I just can't do it against Boston.
Yeah, I will say I did make a wager in this game. If someone wants a wager from this game, I gave it out for our pick 6 stuff that we do on like the DK channel or whatever. We like always give up like one bet a couple times a week, and I gave out KCP's over on 8.5 points. So there you go. I do think he's going to be a little bit involved in the offense. So if you're looking for a punt, it's not crazy.
I do think, Wendell Carter Jr. No.
Yeah, he's fair.
Yeah.
He was popping on DK a little bit. Like
4,300. They're missing obviously Wagner and Patadzi.
Yeah, I shouldn't ignore that. I will admit. Oh man,
look at that. Look at that good number, Mangone, but I'm not going to cash for you. I think that's
Big T. I set the line. I'm trying to set this up. I set the line of you showing up at. I set it at 612, and everyone took the over, and I think I set a pretty good line.
We had practice till 6, so it was a pretty good line.
I know. I've been there. I've been to the school with you.
Yeah.
I did pretty good. So
I honestly got out pretty quick, and I would have been quicker, but Courtney had to like go poop or something after the practice, and I had to wait forever.
Okay, so I knew right.
The under was the sharp side today. I think the under it might not have won, but it was it's the what do they call it? The CLV or whatever it's called. You had some good CLV with the under.
Yeah, I just thought I said it. So I was a good bookmaker. I feel confident. I set a good line. So there you go. But it is what it is. Big T, you haven't missed much. We talked about Orlando and Boston. We really just said, hey, Wendell Carter Jr. as a punter, like you could make a case for a Jason Tatum under 10K. But for the most part, me and DC don't really want any part of this game. Do you want? I know you just pulled in, but I assume you don't want any part of Boston and Orlando.
I got to update my numbers, but
we also need Big T's take on Jimmy Butler. Just the player, the person. What's going on with this guy?
I love Jimmy Butler, but I do not love how he's handled this situation. I'll be honest. Miami's been good for him. I don't really ever like when players just refuse to play like that. I don't love it. I'm more on the Pat Riley side in this situation.
What do you think they're going to do? You think that they got to trade him, right?
You would think that, and you would think they want to get him on the court, and they probably told him this, dude, we want to trade you. You want out. Yeah. Just go out and play good for a couple weeks, and let's get rid of you.
Yeah, hopefully that's what happens.
But, it makes it a nightmare for trying to figure it out as far as what to do, because I do think it's a super wide range. He could go out tonight and get 60 just to, say, screw you guys.
Well, it's a great matchup, right? It's a good.
But he also could just not play much and suck. So, I think it's a crazy wide range.
What I think is crazy is I bet Jimmy Butler knows about how many fantasy points he's going to score today. But we have no idea.
There may never have been a guy that can be just coast as much as he wants and then just be one of the best in the world when he wants. He literally doesn't care during the regular season.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't. I want to see what his hair color is going to be tonight, Big T. Apparently, he might be unveiling a new color, so that's the team he wants to go to or whatever. But
I got my numbers now. So we got Wendell Carter at 4,300. That's a price tag there.
I'm kind of calling bullshit on him being a good play though. I don't know.
Really?
Me too.
Like I get it. A projection will pop him, right? Yeah. Like I said yesterday, Jalen Williams was the worst play on the slate, right? I said Bogdanovich was a bad play the other day. I'm not saying Wendell Carter is for sure a bad play yet, but I'm just saying center's got some good plays. Like I don't know if I want to just go and play Wendell Carter Jr. I already have Drew Eubanks, who I can play as a cheapie. Like, and
give me Eubanks over Carter easily.
Agreed, but everyone's going to say that. But the point is, if you think Eubanks is like a lock button kind of play, which I kind of think he's in that sort of range of, you just want to kind of lock him in a little bit. I only have one more spot for a center, right? Wendell Carter Jr., I'm pretty sure he's not power forward eligible, right? Let me just double check.
Just center.
So it's like now you can only play him in one other spot if you think Eubanks is just like the best value on the slate, and he is one of the best values on the slate. So point I'm getting at is I don't think he's Jalen Williams level like yesterday, but I'm just calling a little bullshit in this spot. That's all.
I'll take Wendell. You guys can have frickin' Whitey Eubanks. I'll take the other side of your guy. You guys can have the Whitey. I'll take Wendell.
I'm gonna get
ride with Fallick. You ride with Fallick on Wendell Carter Jr. Big T.
Is that who he loves, Wendell?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's gonna he's 4,300. I mean, what? I don't understand.
Listen, I don't think he's a bad play. I'm just saying at the ownership, and when I can already just play Eubanks, and I think Eubanks is like,
give me some Jonathan Isaac over Wendell Carter.
Oh my God! Stop! You're playing Jonathan Isaac in his 14 minutes a game over him.
He played 27 the other day.
Jonathan Isaac seriously played 27 minutes.
Yeah, 2 games ago. 27 minutes against Philly, 41 fantasy points.
Well, I'm sure if he played 27 minutes, he probably did crush.
Yeah. Look at those minutes. 15, 27, 20, 25.
15 again?
Yeah.
Jonathan Isaac's not playing no 27 versus Boston.
Why not?
Man, you okay. One of you can have Whitey. One of you can have Isaac. I'll take Wendell.
I definitely want Whitey. So.
You can have Whitey. DC can have Isaac, and
I'm playing Isaac and Whitey. No Carter for me.
At least Isaac's power forward, though. That is a nice. That's nice for sure.
All right, I know this is an NBA show, but the Dodgers got the new Japanese pitcher or whatever, Roki Sasaki. So it's just annoying. So it is what it is.
What's the? I think you guys were talking about when I came on, but what's Paulo's like minute expectation?
I think he's still being
nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be playing him.
Whenever it like gets bumped though, like he's a monster. He is so good.
He's remaining on the minutes limit, so it's like the 26 he's been getting.
So you're not playing. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing like somehow he's off that. One of these games he's going to be off it and he's going to crush.
Yeah, like 4%. Like you want to be there, right? Like you want to be the guy that's first on the boat, right? You don't want to be last. So I get why you're asking. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown there. Again, Big T likes Wendell Carter Jr. We're definitely lower on him.
Like I think he's like a just lock. Like I don't even know what the other side of the argument is. You compared him to freaking Jalen Williams.
I said I don't think I think there's a different level. I thought Jalen Williams was a really bad chalk yesterday. I said I don't think it's that level, but I think Drew Eubanks is just better today. I think Drew Eubanks is a better value.
Mangone?
I think he's the Tyus Jones play from last night.
What were you gonna say, DC?
I was going to say you're riding high after calling out fades like Big T with Cooper Kupp. You know, he takes victory laps for like 5 days in a row for saying Cooper Kupp's dust.
I really haven't victory lapped that hard. It's everyone that does it for me. Like everyone, and the chat's just brutal every time. Like, oh, I'm going to play him. Then I'm going to play it. It makes you want to victory lap more.
To be honest, because I didn't play Jalen Williams, I didn't have much SGA, so it didn't go well for me yesterday.
Yesterday was a weird slate, though, too.
It was.
Blowout late would just crush me.
It was definitely a weird slate. All right. Big T likes bad value, so he's going to love Mike Conley and the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm sure, here. But let's talk about the Timberwolves. Mike Conley is going to start. We got the news as we were getting on the show with DiVincenzo out. So we got Naz Reid, 4.9, Gobert, 5.4. Obviously, a little revenge game for Cat. If he is in, this game is 30 minutes after lock, so we'll call that out. And Edwards, he is 9.1K. The usage has been great. Gets a matchup against the Knicks, and against Karl Anthony Towns. So, hey, that'll be a lot of fun if Cat is in there for him. We did just get news that Brandon Miller is out, so that'll be good for Mr. LaMelo Ball, who's in that next game coming up. But, DC, I'll go to you. Talk about these Timberwolves, and, of course, talk about the situation with the Knicks and how you're handling it, because I assume we will not get this news until right at lock.
The Cat news?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess starting with the Knicks side, I mean, obviously Cat's presence or not changes everything for the Knicks. I mean, if he's out, Josh Hart becomes like like the best rebounder in the world, it seems like. When Cat's out, he's grabbing like 16 boards. So he, I think, is a really interesting play. Helped our guy JT Hayes win $25K a couple nights ago. But yeah, I mean, Brunson, Bridges, Hart would be the three that I would look to if Cat is out. But I actually think Cat plays in this game. I don't think he wants to miss the game against the Wolves. He crushed them before. Now he gets to face them at home in New York. They've said it's like a bone chip, which sounds pretty serious. But they also said right away that he's not going to have surgery. He's going to play through it. And then I don't know, like if he's questionable, right? Like it seems like he must be feeling decent enough to give it a go here. So I kind of think Cat is in there, and I don't mind playing him if he is at 9,900 against the Wolves. I think that's an interesting play. And then if he's out, I think you can go to, at least a couple Knicks if you want to. Minnesota, yeah, I think a lot of their guys are getting bumps, right? Because DiVincenzo is out and they play the tight rotation anyway. They're too low price, but of course it benefits Mike Conley. But I'm not sure how good of a play he is, even at 3,500. I just don't think the upside is huge. And then I don't think anybody else besides Conley gets that big of a bump, right? I kind of think it's spread across a little bit the rest of their team. So I kind of think the same thing we said last time, man, going where the Wolves, they all look like good plays, but no one in particular looks like better than the other Wolves. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to choose which ones you go after. So when that's the case, I usually kind of lean the cheap guys. So I do like Reed, McDaniels, Alexander Walker at 3,300. I think is a good play. And then I think Conley's fine if you need, if you really like your team and 22, 23 fantasy points is enough, then yeah, he's a solid play too.
All right. Yeah, of course, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I know the chat mentioned him. He's definitely someone that's popping up as a value that people want to load up on today. Big T, the Timberwolves values are definitely key decision points on this slate. So how are you attacking it?
Man, Mike Conley just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper. I actually said it on the show last week, I think, when he was like 4K or something. I'm like, if he gets down in the low 3Ks, you got to start considering him. Yeah. And then we get the night tonight where he gets a little more run. I mean, I agree with what DC said. Like, I think he has zero upside, but I mean, we play guys in the low 3Ks where they can get you like 8 sometimes and stuff. I think he's safe to get you like 20, which, I mean, I basically agree exactly what DC said. If it gets you what you want and you need to play Conley, I actually like Conley a little more on FanDuel too, as weird as it is, just because the savings, what it gets you there. I always like playing cheaper guys on FanDuel just because the price like gets you more with it. On DK, it does too at times, but I just feel like the FanDuel pricing at times, the cheap guy gets you more. The rest of it, though, I mean, I think you can go there, but I think he's got more downside than Conley, more upside, but more downside as well.
Yep.
Ant was good for a minute. I think you could see like Ant in a game at MSG. He's that type of player where I could see him wanting to get it cooking a little bit at MSG. Randall, revenge spot. I could see Randall being somewhat revengeful too, where the Knicks never really.
I think Randall's kind of on the outs on Minnesota here. He's the guy that
He is definitely the guy on the outs because they're mad that Cat got traded. It was a stupid freaking trade. Like we said it when it happened. There wasn't much advantage.
It wasn't for what's happening. It was for the apron and for the future.
I mean, I get it. It's just tough when they were that close to being there last year. I mean, you just don't get that big of windows in the NBA. So I get that you're setting up your future, but man, you were there.
The players don't want to hear about the fucking tax apron, you know? Traded.
They're also not there because the Celtics are just going to win again, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but if you're Minnesota and you're in the finals, that's a good year.
I get
now
it.
They suck. They're not going to be in anything. So all they got is the apron right now. And I don't know who gets excited about that, but
I do.
I don't know. The Knicks side, too, I pretty much agree with DC there, too. We got to wait for Cat. If Cat's out, you look at the price tag with Josh Hart. It always looks high, but ask JT Hayes if it's too high. He didn't think it was too high when the dude gets 48 rebounds and gets you 90,000 fantasy points out there. Josh Hart's just a hooper.
It helps. It helps when Cat's out, right? So that's.
You need Cat out, or you're not paying $8K for Josh Hart.
Right, just making sure. That's all.
But if he's out, I think he's a very good play.
Cool. Let's see. We did just get. Mark Williams is available, so that matters for sure. I just saw that come across my Twitter feed or my old tweet deck, whatever you want to call it now. But obviously, this was a game that we have to like some guys. Big T, if you had to rank the guys, is Conley your favorite? Like Conley or Noah? Who do you think is better, and do you like both of them overall?
I like Conley more, as bad as that sounds. Like that, I know that sounds stupid, but I don't trust Nah. Like I just don't think. He just doesn't do enough. He sucked he's just, I don't know. I used to think of him as like a scorer, but I don't think of him like that anymore. After the playoffs and this year, I just feel like he's more of a defender almost. I don't love it. I like Conley, as bad as that sounds.
Yeah, I get it for sure.
So the Wolves are playing an 8-man rotation with DiVincenzo in. I'm not even sure like who's going to be they're not going to go to 7.
It'll either be Minot or like a ball handler. They could go to like a Dillingham.
How does the Kentucky dude not get any run?
Dillingham?
Yeah, how does he not play at all?
He just got recalled from the G League, so he's been in the G League.
Tell you what, we like tournament plays. They got no ball handling. Conley's old. Why not old Dillingham? Fire him up.
Take that 0 with Dillingham.
He's not getting those. If he doesn't play tonight with no other ball handling,
I'm definitely not sure he'll play.
You don't think he'll play? Seriously?
I think there's a good chance he'll play, but not for sure.
I just don't think it's I thought
I want to play him so bad now that I talked about it, just to own you too.
Yeah, don't.
It's just more exciting than playing Conley. Slamming him in there at MSG, just feels so good.
The other play away from Conley, I think, is to play just Edwards and not play Conley and hope that Edwards just kind of takes over the whole, right? Like,
yeah.
If Edwards gets cooking, he could just say Conley's just not doing anything.
I love Ant tonight.
We did just get the Celtics starting lineup. It's the same as usual. And we did get some news. Giddey, White, and Ayo Dosunmu, they are all available. And that's the next game up, so we'll talk about it. All of them are available. Thank you, Sick Omamba. But yeah, we obviously aren't going to – I mean, we like the Bulls a little bit. Like Vucevic, I think you can make an argument for because the matchup against Charlotte's just too good, right? I mean, that's one guy that definitely could have a really good game if you want to spend at your center position. LaMelo Ball is the key guy we got to talk about. Obviously, it's LaMelo versus Lonzo. Super fun, right? The Ball brothers against each other. It's a fun little narrative for a Friday night. But no Brandon Miller is just going to help the usage of him. And it's a matchup against this Bulls team. And, dude, the Bulls, they absolutely suck, right? I mean, when you lose to the Atlanta Hawks and Mr. Wallace and Plowden, like, it was a rough go for them. And anything can go. This is a game Charlotte could easily dominate, and LaMelo Ball can have a big game at 10.4K. He is clearly a spend that we have to like on this slate, so he is going to be someone we have to discuss. Of course, you got Lonzo as a value at 4.6. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit of a, fun game for him. Maybe he gets a little bit of extra minutes, a little bit of a bump. Maybe he goes from like 25 to 26 up to the 28 mark. And, hey, he would not be the worst value in a matchup against Charlotte. But, DC, talk about this big piece of news that we got. And then we also just got Zach LaVine just got downgraded because of an illness to questionable. And that's a pretty big piece of news because that actually opens up some of these guards as interesting plays. But talk about it, DC.
Yeah, LaVine obviously would change things significantly. So Chicago got embarrassed, right, in that last game against Atlanta, home game against a super, super shorthanded Hawks team, and they get blown out. Like, they had to pull their starters before the game was even over. I think Vucevic, like, called a team meeting or something. I actually kind of think Chicago, if you have any pride, you're coming out the next game after that and playing hard. So I actually kind of like Chicago just to win this game and play better today. I mean, what better team to bounce back against than Charlotte, right? And also, I don't know, like, LaMelo looks like an awesome play on paper. I do think his upside is super high. But I could see, like, big brother Lonzo's on Chicago, and I could just see them playing better and kind of – I mean, they're still a better team than Charlotte. They still got better players. So I could see Chicago bouncing back and playing well here. I actually think their backcourt, if LaVine misses, I think becomes interesting. And, yeah, even Lonzo Ball. I mean, this guy's up to 25, 26 minutes a game. He's playing well. He's playing his brother. If LaVine is out, you could – potentially see closer to 30, 4,600. Why not with LaMelo Ball? I think he's an interesting play at 4,600. I mean, I know they're different positions, but compare him to Big T's guy, Wendell Carter Jr. Give me some Lonzo Ball, another guy that's going to outscore Mr. Wendell Carter Jr. I kind of like the Chicago side here, obviously, especially if LaVine ends up missing.
All right, Big T. You were just challenged by DC for Wendell Carter Jr. versus Lonzo Ball. So what's your take on that, especially with the LaVine news? And what else are you doing with LaMelo Ball in this game?
LaMelo is – I wonder what these guys think about playing against each other too. But so the other night I got stuck playing LaMelo when Jokic got ruled out.
I got the same thing. I had to switch.
And it ended up like working out okay, I guess, just considering that you really didn't have options. You were left just totally screwed. But, I mean, LaMelo against the Bulls has to have upside.
Yes.
I mean, he just has to. You got Brandon Miller out on top of it. I think these Charlotte guys, like Mark Williams has just been a beast. Bridges always has upside. You always like the matchup with the Bulls. If somehow Brandon Miller and LaVine sit in this game, I mean, this game could be just full-blown Nuke City. But I will say the Bulls' prices are still somewhat tough. I mean, taking Lonzo Ball over Wendell, that's another one I'll win. I mean, Wendell's just easy cheese over Lonzo. But I think Kobe White at 6,300 would be very good. I mean, 6,300 is cheap if LaVine's out. So that was a downgrade, right?
Yeah, and it was illness, and we've kind of seen like LaVine just like do this before. I like the Kobe White call. He would be my first lean. Like if I had to rank him, it's probably White 1.
Oh, we lost man going.
That's a bad sign for how do I even fix this?
Who did he rank number 1?
He was talking about he's back.
Well, I don't know why it kicked me. That was the stupidest thing ever. But anyways, Kobe White I do like as a play. I think he's a good one. If we look at some of the price tags on these guys, Ayo DeSumo, he's at 6'1". That feels kind of pricey. Josh Giddey, 7K. That's another one that feels pricey. But when you play Josh Giddey, you play him for the ceiling, right? And without LaVine, the ceiling is pretty good. But my rankings would be Kobe White 1, and then probably Vucevic 2, Lonzo Ball 3. That's how I would rank my like top 3 Bulls. But Big T, I guess finish up on the Bulls.
Yeah, I don't. We got to wait for LaVine, and we'll get the info because it's an 8:00 game. You're not going to play that many early guys anyway, so you'll be able to see it. If LaVine's in, I'm not going to like anything from the Bulls side. And then I think you could play Giddey or Kobe. I like Kobe better though when Zach's out, just because I feel like he needs to do more. Giddey has to too, but he's more of a distributor anyways. So I think Kobe would be my play. Lonzo would get a boost. They still got a lot of guys though. The Charlotte side though, I think LaMelo. One of the decision points of the night for me is going to be LaMelo or Anthony Edwards. Both very good plays. Actually, I just updated my projections. LaMelo popped even higher with Brandon Miller out.
Yeah.
What about Bridges? Talk about him too. So talk about Ball and Bridges.
I think they're two of the best plays of the slate now with Brandon Miller out against the Bulls. it's tough to go wrong. And I do think even a guy like Nick Smith off the bench, he's 3K. He's stone man, and he's got to play a little bit. So I really like Charlotte. The more I'm looking at my main team, I'm going to be heavy on the Bulls. Play no defense, so this has to be a perfect LaMelo and Bridges spot.
If you're playing LaMelo and Bridges and Levine is out, you just got to get in there with that game stack, man. Hope this.
Yeah, I agree, and just slam it in there.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
No, I like it for sure. Big T. Also, I have a question. How on earth now on the cores do I write that I'm fading the first game? I want to write I'm fading the first game on the core.
You got to write it in your name. Here, I'll do it for you. Mangone is fading.
Yeah, and then you just update it afterwards.
Yeah, because I don't want to play this first game. Yeah, I'm not playing that shit. So, all right, cool. Fading that game when it comes to DK at least. FanDuel, we'll see. We will see about that. All right. DC, any final thoughts on this game? I'm sure you're going to stack it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to go that route, but I think it needs Levine out to make the game stack really pop, I think. But if that does happen, I think you can play LaMelo. For me, it would be, if I really wanted to go after it, it would be LaMelo, Bridges, and Mark Williams. And then it would be probably 2 of the Chicago guards, I think is where I would most likely go. Which one of those guys? I mean, honestly, I think Giddey, White, DeSunmu, and Lonzo are all pretty good plays. If Levine sits, I would probably pick 2 of those guys to go with the game stack there if I was going to go that route.
All right, let's get to Utah and the Pelicans because I mean that's a good game. We got our lady.
I think Utah.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot to talk about on Utah. Drew Eubanks is clearly one of the spots you have to talk about as a value play. After Drew Eubanks, I mean, Sexton 7.5, that feels pricey. I understand he can get there. I would much prefer Keontae George at 6K in this matchup if you had me pick. But the guy I think that's the second best play is Bryce Sensabaugh, right? I don't think he'll start. He normally doesn't start. He could in this spot. But, hey, even if he doesn't start, I really don't care. He still has a really good role on this team no matter what. So Sensabaugh is definitely in the conversation. You make a case for an Isaiah Collier if they want to go a little bit smaller. We'll see if they decide to do that. Kyle Filipowski, he is someone that could maybe get a start. It could be a Cody Williams. Who knows? They could even start Svi at the 3 random. We'll see what they do with that lineup. But the 2 guys I like are Eubanks and Sensabaugh the most. Probably third would be Keontae George. DC, talk about how you would rank these Utah Jazz. And then, of course, touch on the Pelicans because they are missing guys, right? They are missing Misi. And they have Zion back, but that does open up some opportunities for some big man minutes for maybe a Daniel Tice or maybe more Zion at the 5.
I mean, this is the most players I think Utah's been missing all season, right? Like they're missing, I think 4 of their normal starting 5 or 4 of their 5 big players: Collins, Markkanen, Kessler, Clarkson, all out. And then joined, of course, by Potter, who I think he started last game and played significant minutes. And then Ju Zhang is also out, who was in the rotation. So they're kind of getting down to it here a little bit. Utah is where they still could, kind of mess with the rotation, and they're just a hard team, or they have been, to trust with minutes. But I mean, I think Keontae George at 6K is a really, really strong play. I don't mind Sexton, even at 7.5. Collier, I think, is fine. Collier at 4.9. And then the bigs, look here. I know both these teams going to be starting kind of a dust ball center, right? Eubanks for Utah, and then we assume the Pelicans are going to be starting, I think, Daniel Tice at center. So I do like Eubanks quite a bit. I think he's going to start and play pretty big minutes here. 4.1K. Talked about him, obviously, when we're talking about Carter. I do prefer Eubanks. Sensabaugh, I like Mangone, and then I like the guards too. So, yeah, Utah, I think, a team you can play a lot of, and you can play guys against them too. Murray, McCollum, and I guess Zion, if you want to go there. Pretty good spot. So I think this is overall my favorite game of the night. Closely rivaled by Charlotte, Chicago, especially if Levine sits.
For sure. We did just get some news that is very interesting. Aaron Gordon available to play off the bench. But we did get Agbaji out, but this is the big one. Jokic, still a game time decision. And I don't know, maybe Jokic doesn't want to play with the whole Jimmy Butler stuff. Remember that he's fought with the Miami Heat before. They just might not want to play him and call it a day and give him another game off. But I don't know, Big T. Maybe you can send a text message. Maybe you have an idea on what's going to happen. I think this makes me want to fade that first game even more. So, Big T, does this change your stance on dusty old Wendell Carter Jr. with this Jokic possibly, could be out, could be in news?
I mean, how does that doesn't help any Denver guys though? Who's it help from Denver?
I mean, he's a game time decision. It would obviously help other options on Denver, right? DeAndre Jordan would obviously come into play as a value. If
DeAndre Jordan?
He could, yeah. He could start.
We're gonna play Mike Conley and DeAndre Jordan in the same slate.
Might be in 2025. It might be time.
So I got the sneakiest play of the slate tonight, and it's what's gonna win people money. It's why people like takes like this. But in this game, it's not freaking Whitey, Drew Eubanks. It's Oscar Tshiebwe behind him for 3K, an absolute double-double monster his whole life, playing in a game that could be a blowout on top of it. Absolute sneakiest play of the night, hammer against the chalk Whitey, Mr. Oscar Tshiebwe. Mark it down. He's going in my core. Lock it up. I want to see what position he is.
Who is this guy? I don't know who he is. Tell me more about him.
He was player of the year at Kentucky a few years ago. He's a double-double machine. He's just got slow feet. He can't guard no one.
His nickname was Big O, right? Big O.
He's an absolute monster. He's just got the slowest feet you've ever seen in your life, so he can't defend anyone. But he gets rebounds. He's going to get a double-double tonight. What's his odds to get a double-double? Can we get some odds on him? Let me see.
He's like Kenny Lofton if he like was.
Kenny Lofton can like play more than him.
That's what I meant. Like he's like a flat-footed Kenny Lofton, right? Like I don't know how to.
The slowest feet ever doesn't sound like super enticing to me.
Yeah,
he's a vacuum off the glass, though. I'm telling you, he's gonna get a double-double. I want to find his odds here. I gotta look.
He's definitely not like the worst idea. I'll say that. Like
I'm dead serious. He's gonna crush at 3K. He's gonna get 30 fantasy points at 3K.
I'm definitely playing this guy in one of my lineups. No question about it.
He's gonna
come
crush.
on down, Tshiebwe.
I'm just telling you, he's literally gonna. If it somehow blows out, he's gonna get 40 fantasy points. Like
40.
If it's close, he's gonna get 30. If it's a blowout, he's gonna get 40.
Let's see what
don't you be cowards. Don't you be cowards, DraftKings. Give me a line on them.
I think they're going to be cowards.
They're cowardly right now. We got to get a line, DraftKings. Or DK partner. Give me a line.
You know what's going to happen, Big T? You got to wait till it's closer to that game. His line will not be up for anything until closer.
I want to see what is he forward on FanDuel is my next question.
That is actually a very good
center only, but 3,600.
He is center only. Damn, I didn't want him to be center only.
Yeah, you need him. You need power forward eligibility to really like pull it off.
Yeah, I was hoping he was power forward because, I mean, Eubanks is only 4,200 on FanDuel, so I would probably just play Whitey on FanDuel and then Oscar.
You coming back to Eubanks already? That didn't take long.
FanDuel, not DK. I mean, this is what people love takes like this. He is going to literally crush.
Listen, I've heard worse suggestions. So
I'm just telling you, like it's one of my best calls of the year right here.
I heard Deontay Johnson get touted last week. So yeah, there's been worse suggestions.
Mango, how much Tshiebwe are you going to end up playing?
Mango doesn't play plays like that.
No, this is bullshit.
That's why I asked him.
The problem is I'm playing more on FanDuel than DraftKings, so it's like harder for me to do.
Yeah, but you're probably playing like a lot of teams. Thank you. Yeah, the KJ said thank you, Travis. Bring up some good point. The real Travis Poole. My KJ Simpson call was my other good call.
It was a good call. It was.
This one's even better though. Tshiebwe is going to crush. Mark my words. It's going to happen.
Maybe I'll push some more entries on DK just like
it's gonna be 2% owned, 1% owned. Like it's just gonna be.
He's gonna be less than 1%.
I mean, he's not gonna be though because he's got a decent projection.
What is his projection?
I mean, the numbers I'm looking at 17, but it's not high enough.
It's 17.
That's not bad at all for 3K.
No, it's not bad.
And he should be. I'm like people think I'm joking right now. He should be projected like 25. Seriously, like I'm not exaggerating.
Big T, I will
No,
tell
he's
you.
not starting. We don't want him starting. We do not want him starting. That's the thing people need to understand. We do not want him start. If he's starting, everyone will play him. We do not want him starting. Make no mistake about it. The play, I would honestly like the play. Well, I would still jam him because he's 3K, but I would hate it if they start him. Do not start him.
No, that's fair. I don't think it's bad. Anything else you want to touch on in this game? DC, Big T, anything here?
How does New Orleans not win by like 30 in this game?
Because New Orleans is ass.
But they're playing a little better since they've got.
I mean, they have Zion back. I'll give you that.
Utah literally has the worst thing I've ever seen, like the worst roster ever.
I mean, they're 12. They're like 11 or 12 point favorites. So, yeah, that's kind of a lot. But all right, we got 12 minutes to lock. Let's get to what's the game I want to get to? Oh, did we talk about Denver? No, we haven't talked about Denver yet. I want to talk about Denver and Miami. We talked a little about the Jokic stuff, but DC, how are you attacking this with the Jokic now game time decision? I think this is massive news on the slate. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to fully fade the Orlando game on FanDuel, but like, it's definitely making me think about it because I want roster spots open. And I want this Jokic news. It's massive. We're going to get it probably, after the 7 o'clock lock. I don't know about the 7:30 one, but it's clearly a spot we have to talk about. So how are you attacking it? Because I want to backload a little bit more the more I talk about it.
Yeah, kind of a weird injury for Jokic, right? His elbow hurts. Like, he missed a couple of games because he was sick, and I don't know. And then he plays totally fine when he's in there. So it doesn't seem like it's anything serious. I guess I kind of lean toward him playing, but obviously I did the other day too when we got stuck with leaving, $2,500 on the table or whatever it was. So I'm not planning to play a ton of this game. Obviously, if the Joker is out, though, changes things. I think Jamal Murray becomes pretty interesting play at that point. Christian Braun, 4,500. Hoping Joker plays so I don't have to deal with that. But, yeah, you'll have to look at those guys. Miami with Butler back, I don't think it's a bad play, but I'm personally not going to play Butler at 8K tonight. I think it's more likely that he's still kind of dogging it out there. But he would be the guy I'd be most likely to play. No one else from Miami. I mean, you just can't pay $8,800 for Hero with Butler back in there. So I'm off Miami entirely. And then Denver obviously depends on if Jokic ends up playing or not.
All right, Big T, talk about it. What do you want to do with this Nuggets game?
I mean, we just gotta wait. Like, if Jokic is in, I don't think it's a great Jokic spot anyways, though, I guess, because center's so good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I always like Jokic, but we have other studs we talked about. LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, and then guys in the later games, Giannis. You got a lot of directions you can go. I have no issue if Jokic plays. If he's out, though, I really don't like that much just looking at it. I think Jamal Murray's obviously a good play, 7K. I don't love it, though. I don't know. I don't like Denver as much as I usually do in this spot. In Miami, Friday night, I don't know. Why? Yeah. I thought Jokic was like sick when he missed the other day. Now it says elbow.
Yeah. So it was an elbow against the Rockets as well. So like it's not the first time the elbow came up. This is the second time, right? So that's why I think there's something here. I don't think he's gonna play. He also, keep in mind, the whole Jokic against Miami thing, like they his brother fought those what's his name, Morris or whatever when he was there. Like there's just some bad blood there. It's like, why do you want Jokic on the court to deal with all the antics that Jimmy Butler's dealing with right now? Jimmy Butler's down with getting thrown out. I just think it's a good spot to sit Jokic. That's my opinion on it.
You're sitting Jokic because you're scared of Jimmy Butler's antics?
It's just, dude, they've fought before. It's like there's no reason to play Jokic in this spot. He's already been sitting. Keep giving him rest. I think they sit him, but that's just me. Anyways, and Aaron Gordon's back. He'll be playing off the bench though. No, Eagles. I'm not scared. I'm just saying it's stupid to play. You don't just take the variables out. It seems like he's actually hurt. So that's just my opinion. I think he sits. So if I think he sits, I'm considering fading that first game because I want all my roster spots available. I want to be able to get Murray and Westbrook and all these guys into my lineup. So, all right, these last couple games are not great. Toronto, Milwaukee is not bad. Obviously, Giannis, if we have all this value, Giannis is obviously someone that you have to like. I will call this out, though. Toronto's playing good basketball right now. I know the Celtics aren't playing bad basketball, but Toronto played really good the other day, and I honestly think these guys might show up again. I think it's a good spot for R.J. Barrett and Scotty Barnes as spends. You know, they did good for me the other night, so I'm going to take some stabs on them. Again, Giannis I like as a spend. I don't like that much else. I know Chris Boucher is a value that you could make a case for that could do well here in this matchup if they need his size. But, again, I'm really keeping it to the studs. I'm liking Giannis, R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes. How about you, DC?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Plenty of value on the slate. It's kind of where you want to spend, right? That becomes a big question mark. Obviously, getting the value right and then getting the spends up right. And Giannis is certainly there. I like him over Jokic. I think it's close between him and LaMelo Ball. Obviously, different positions, but in terms of the top spend, those are the two guys I'm looking at. No problem with Barnes and Barrett, but I don't think I would go beyond those guys. I think studs only in this game. And kind of whoever fits, you can certainly go to. Giannis, my favorite play in this game overall, though.
Yeah, another guy that's interesting, and honestly, shooting guard, I know before the slate started, shooting guard was not great. I don't know now with all the news that we've hit, but Big T, we got Grady Dick on the slate, so it's a Friday night. Any interest in Dick on a Friday night, Big T?
They're starting to get healthy, though, too. I actually like the matchup for him, but
yeah, but they don't have quickly. He has been playing a little bit more. I don't think he's a crazy value at 4-2. But yeah.
I lost the projection. The guy I like though is Bruce Brown. He's back. He's 3,200, and he's another guy that I think is just insanely sneaky in this spot. Like he's been getting run.
He's been playing a lot more, so you're honest.
20 minutes, 14, 21 minutes. Now you got quickly out. I think he gets 20-plus minutes at 3,200. It's yet another value guy that I think you can pop in there tonight, but I don't like the rest of these.
I got Big T's team here. We got Mike Conley, Bruce Brown.
Mike Conley's working his way out of there, though. We're
getting Wendell Carter Jr.
Wendell Carter Jr., yeah.
And then
Rob Dillingham.
And Schwebe and Dillingham. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
And then he's spending for three studs.
Big G's gonna have LaMelo, Giannis, and Joker, and then
you guys are laughing now. I'm coming for you guys because they're all gonna be on my team. All the dudes you're making fun of.
All right. Anything else you want to mention with that game, Big T, or just...
Why is Bruce Brown not a good play at 3,200?
I don't think he's the worst idea. I'll give you that.
Why is he not a good play though?
I wouldn't go that far as good play. I would say
though?
Because the minutes have not been there yet.
Because he's been hurt.
I mean, he's got
3,200.
Again, I don't think it's. I don't want to be like. I don't want you acting like. I like to play way more than DC. I'll say that. I've been watching him, and like there's definitely something happening there with Bruce Brown.
I didn't even give an opinion on Bruce Brown. I might be
you
trying
don't
to
like
make
that
on Bruce Brown.
You guys were making fun of me.
All right, well, let's move past this.
I'm running Saber Sim right now just to see if I actually get the team with all, because I bumped all of them a decent. Let's see who it actually gives me.
AP won 30K last night. Congrats, AP. You were on the Bruce Brown trade.
AP hasn't been making fun of my calls tonight. He's liking a few of these. I like that because he shipped 30K last night.
Chris, I hate Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is
like we got guys like Chris Middleton, Mike Conley on this slate. The other dude, whoever Mangone said, that's like Mike Conley. Who was the other old dusty dude? Who's the other guy I made fun of?
Drew Eubanks.
He's the whitey. There was another guy I made fun of, though. Who's the other old dude I made fun of?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Some other old. I mean, we're playing white dudes named Eubanks. We're playing old dudes, Conley. And I'm getting made fun of for playing young stallions.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, Brett M's got
it. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan we're talking about. We're making fun about the guys I'm talking about, young dudes.
I mean, if he starts, yeah, I mean, he'd be a good play. I'm just
give me
like DeAndre Jordan and make fun of Bruce Brown.
I didn't make fun of Bruce Brown. All right, don't make me kick you from the stream. I said I actually like the play. So
Don't make me kick you.
I didn't say he's a good play. I'm more in the middle, right? Like between dog shit and good play, I'm more in the middle. I'm just
riding here. You got to trash talk.
I'm riding the fence.
Make fun or get on board.
Sometimes you got to ride the fence, Big T. You know, you can't always be all. All right, can we talk about let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks game. Not super excited about the Dallas Mavericks game, but it is what it is. Kyrie is going to play 33 minutes was the announcement. So 33 minutes is what's going to happen here around. I'm not in love with this game. DC, do you have anything to talk about here?
Very specific number for Kyrie.
Tease, another just Dusty Whitey. We're going to take Tease over Bruce. We're playing Mike Conley, DeAndre Jordan, and Daniel Tease. Oh, my God, I love it.
That's like Mangone's guy. He court him one time.
I mean,
I did not court these.
I know, no, I didn't court him. I did not.
He was the play of the day. He was Mangone's play of the day. That's one slate.
The one slate I liked him.
And then you victory lap when he got like 16.25 fantasy points the next show.
I mean, hey, I'll take 16 at 3K every slate. I'm okay with it. I'll sign up.
16?
Every slate, yes. If you tell me for the rest of the year, I will take it for 3K because I'll get all the studs all the time. And I'll find a way to the finish line on the slates when people score 280 and all the shitty scores. I'll find a way to get there. So, all right. Do you have anything to say about the Dallas side, DC?
I'm not going to play the Dallas side. I think OKC is more interesting, though. I mean, SGA, another really good spend. Is LaMelo going to be more popular than him? I assume so.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm adjusting these magic.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I get that LaMelo probably has more ceiling than SGA a little bit, but SGA's floor is way higher, I think, than LaMelo Ball. So I kind of like SGA as maybe a low-owned late-night hammer in this one. So, yeah, I think SGA is good. 2 minutes before lock here, Mangone, go ahead and dial it in. I get it.
Well, yeah. Big T, do you want to talk about the Dallas stuff? I'm good now. I basically just hit a max on all those Orlando and Celtics guys. I just don't want to. I think the max I have is 5% of one of those dudes.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. I don't mind getting sprinkles of them, but I don't want to have too much. So, all right. Big T, anything else you want to discuss?
No, I'm locking in my squad here.
Actually, I'm making a couple more adjustments. I got some Christian De Silva. Like, I don't want Christian De Silva. We're good here.
Final one up here. NFL schedule shows. I know we're doing Off the Chalk tomorrow at 11 Eastern time, I believe, is the time for that. Big T, are you guys doing a show Sunday morning?
Someone is. It's not gonna. I forget who we got. We got different people each day. So.
So right now we have up to lock tomorrow is 9 a.m. It is me, AP, DC, and DC. Who are we going to be with besides JT Hayes? Do you have a guess at it? Have you seen the schedule?
I already know. Iron Mitch Schneider joining us for the show. You love to see it.
Iron Mitch.
Iron Mitch. He's not going to be talking about the Ravens. Actually, maybe we will. We got to talk Ravens with Iron Mitch on.
Yeah, we'll do the 4 games. We'll get Mitch in the Ravens time.
Yeah, and then on Sunday, I see Rubio, Wiley, and JT. So it's a different group than normal.
Who's the Sunday?
It is Rubio, Wiley, and JT.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
So Cat just got ruled out, so that's really big news. I'm glad I limited that early game big time because that early game.
I mean that is nice once it goes like that. So now we got
Jericho Sims starting, which, yeah, of course, we kind of expect. Yeah, the Cat stuff's definitely big. Josh Hart, who we talked about, comes into play. DC, what changes with your thoughts now with the Knicks as obviously good options? Like, I think Brunson is the best play. He would be my main guy I would look to go to. Then it would be Josh Hart. Then it's Bridges. And then it's, of course, shitty OG Anunoby. And actually, I'd probably put Precious Achua over OG Anunoby. That's how little I like OG. What do you think?
I had my OG rant the other day. I'm not playing OG Anunoby. He's just not playing this guy. But the other three, Brunson, Bridges, and Hart, I think are all awesome plays. Can't go to Sims, right? No, you're not playing Jericho Sims.
No.
So yeah, I mean the nice thing about the Knicks, actually, this is another good game stack, right? Like the Knicks guys are just going to play all the minutes in the world, and the Wolves guys are going to do the same thing. I mean, it's just two super tight rotations. A game both teams are going to want to win. Yeah, this game could be really nice for fantasy. I think I would rank them. Bridges is so cheap. I think I might put him 1. But yeah, Bridges, Hart, and Brunson. What about, does McBride benefit here? Not a ton. Looks like he mostly kind of stays in that same role.
You can make the argument some usage funnels this way, but like when you look at this slate and the value we have, I just don't think it's a good idea.
They've been running hard at the 5, right? Behind them.
Well, they do. They will if they want to go small, but they are playing the Timberwolves. They're going to play Precious Achiuwa and Sims for the most part at the 5, right? Because the Timberwolves can't really go small. Like, I do think as long as Precious keeps his hands to himself, this is a spot that Precious could definitely like thrive if they want to use him a lot. So he could also just do absolutely nothing and just be standing around. So that's the other worry. But I would say here's a good question. I mean, it's a hard one. LaMelo Ball or Brunson? I think it's LaMelo. DC, do you agree?
I mean, straight up, yes. With the savings, I think I like Brunson better now.
Okay. Do you have a take on that, DC? LaMelo or Brunson?
Yeah, I'm on the Brunson side. Yeah.
Yeah, Big T, do you have a take on that?
On me? Did you say Big T? I thought you said DC.
I thought I said Big T, but maybe I didn't.
If you did, I totally should.
I think you should have been addressing Big T, but you said DC.
Everybody said DC. Yeah. I was like, I didn't think. I was trying to listen while I was doing something, but
I kind of had a mind blank for a second, so maybe I did.
Honestly, when I run my numbers, I still get LaMelo, but man, I'm trying to find a build where I play both of them. It's just tough because
you don't have a build. You have every shitty player on the planet tonight.
I know, but I want Giannis versus Toronto. Maybe if I take Giannis out, I'll get more. So I'm looking at the build with Brunson and LaMelo without Giannis. Actually, that's probably the build I'm going to run because it's got everything I want in it. Actually, that's a great build. It gets rid of Giannis, but every other guy is all the guys I talked about plus Brunson. So that's definitely going to be my build. So
you get Brunson or you don't get him?
I do. It's like my 5th or 6th optimal, but it's my top team without Giannis. So
you probably lost Rob Dillingham though. That's unfortunate.
The funny thing is I did lose Rob Dillingham with that build is the funniest part. All the other ones got Dillingham above. It is. He's the one guy that's not in there. If he crushes after I pull him out, I'm going to be so pissed.
Yeah, I think you're safe. I think you're safe on the Dillingham.
Got Oscar and Bruce though, so I still got 2 heroes in there. Oscar and Bruce, baby.
There you go.
How can you not play Jalen Brunson and LaMelo Ball right now, though?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play him. I'm going to be loaded up, so I'll be definitely getting.
Or I'm going to go literally LaMelo, Jalen Brunson. Anthony Edwards are my 3 studs. Like, that's my core. That's what we talked about on the show. We got LaMelo, Jalen, Anthony Edwards, Bruce Brown, Oscar Tshiebwe. I love that core. That's definitely my core from this show. Like, that's exactly what I said, minus the GOAT, Rob Dillingham.
There you go. That's the core for the people. You got to get a little freebie there. Of course, if you want to check out more free stuff from Big T, he did a show with JSU and ODB earlier today talking about the slate. So if you want his NFL thoughts, you can get them over there. Of course, we'll have the NFL show tomorrow. We'll have one on Sunday, so we have you covered. There's a UFC card this weekend. JSU will be doing that UFC breakdown. I don't know if he already did it or if he's doing it tonight, but it'll be somewhere on our YouTube channel. That's why you got to get those notifications and put them on live. And of course, that's why you got to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. All right, Big T obviously gave out Oscar O as his play of the day.
Bruce Brown's 3,900 on FanDuel too. I'm in. I love Bruce. I love my 2 Val. I'm gonna crush tonight. Mark my words.
This is a first or last slate for Big T for sure.
I'm crushing tonight. Like I always. There's no way I don't crush tonight. Guaranteed.
Hold on. You guaranteed it. I gotta get to the where is it? The graphic. There's a graphic for this. There's a graphic for this. Where is it?
I don't guarantee it anymore if I got to see the graphic again. Oh, God.
There it is. I've never seen that before. Who made the Big T guarantee graphic?
Wait, who made this, Big T?
You, I thought.
Oh, I think I don't know. I may have back in the day. That is a while. That looks like something I would have.
I know that's not the work of my guy Day Monster because he's not.
That's not Day Monster. It's too pixelated or whatever it's called.
That looks like something I maybe put together a while ago. So
Day Monster knows how to get things done.
I would not be surprised. Any final thoughts? We'll Big T give some final thoughts, and then we'll kind of get on out of here.
I mean, my final thoughts are: if you want to win, then play my core tonight because we're gonna roll together.
If you want to win,
I want Big T. Who you got for the winners of the football games?
Oh yeah.
I mean, the ones that I talked up the most were Baltimore. I love Baltimore over Buffalo. I love the under on Sunday, and then that teaser. But the teaser, everyone in the universe is going to play, but I don't see how it loses. Chiefs, Lions, Ohio State, 3-team teaser plus 160. I don't see how those 3 teams lose, but one of them, I mean, how it always happens, one will lose, but man, I don't see those 3 losing.
I like that.
And it's plus 160, so you don't even have to lay juice with it. Like, it's just and if you get to Monday night and Ohio State's the only team left, you can always hedge a little bit too on Notre Dame plus 8.5. You got a nice little hedge.
You also get to root against the Siege in the national championship game. To get your team
I was already trash talking him on Twitter, talking him up about the Irish.
Yeah, I rode with Siege last slate, but not
with Siege. Notre Dame's had a good year. They're just, I mean, they're not beating Ohio State.
No.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. All right, but we'll get on out of here.
UFC show tonight too, right? 8:00.
You didn't listen to me. I said that already. I said JSU will be on the UFC show. I didn't say the time, I will admit. Oh, SGA just got ruled questionable.
Oh, great. Right after I loved my team, they're going to start freaking ruling good people out.
Yep. SGA.
I don't want any injury news. Like, that'll jack me up. I'm locked in.
That's
ready
good
to go.
call. Yes,
enjoy some things.
Yeah, Jimmy knows. Jimmy. SGA's questionable with the wrist. I assume he sits now. But
that sucks too, because that opens up a lot of things.
Yes, it does. Well, that's why we're in the Discord chat. We'll break that all down for you guys. We'll make our adjustments when we get off the show. Maybe Big T will get off Oscar O, and he's gonna have a big.
No, game. I'm not. Stop trying to get me off my good plays. You're tilting me with the disrespect towards these guys.
No, I'm going to play some Oscar O. I'm going to have at least one. I'll give you one.
Oh, at least one. You both gave me a complimentary one. DC said the same thing. I'll play one.
That's one of my 3 teams.
I'm playing
one of 3. Okay, I can live with one of 3.
Yeah.
Mango's playing like 150 though.
No. Can I defend myself? I'm
1 out of 3. I can respect that.
Yeah.
On DK, I'm only playing 5, and then on FanDuel, I'm playing 100.
Well, I need at least 2 out of 5.
We'll see. I'll give you one.
I got to be in that 30 to 40% window.
When Oscar gets a putback in and you get a text.
He's like actually gonna crush. So if you want to have a 3K guy that crushes, play him.
Maybe I'll go the other way and I'll just lock button. Maybe I'll do that.
If you want to win, do it.
We'll have to see.
He's gonna, and if we get props up, bet the double.
I just don't know if that's gonna even be available.
You don't think they'll put it up?
I mean, Oscar O's double.
But he's gonna play. Like, don't they put up props for?
I'm not saying he won't do it. I'm just saying I don't know if it's gonna be available. Like,
I'm gonna look it up on gambling.
Like, look at like a game that's coming up. Like, what's the game coming up? What shitty players do they have? Okay, so Timberwolves and like Knicks. Like, what?
Rob Dillingham.
They don't have Rob Dillingham doubles. There's no way. I gotta look now before we get out of here. I have to look. What is it under for doubles?
I'm sure he's not in there, but
okay. I don't even know where it's under. Is it under popular here? Here, double. Okay, let's see what's available. Yeah, dude, they don't even have like Precious Achua double. That's what I'm saying. There's no way they have this dude as a double. They're cowards. They're not gonna put it up for you.
They're cowardly.
They're cowards. You're not. I mean, check before the game starts, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll be available for you. Check Gambly. Type it in there. Maybe it'll pop up for you.
I typed them in there and I got nothing back. It made me sad.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait
Come on,
till
Bale. Come on.
Jokic available, so he's good to go. I was wrong with my assessment, but hey,
I should
SGA.
circle back and play Jokic.
Yeah, it might be time to circle back and play Jokic. Problem is you're locked into Wendell Carter Jr. You're not getting all Oscar O, so there you go. But anyways, we should get on out of here. We gotta get some sleep because we gotta prepare for our guy, the Soldiers, Iron Mitch Snyder, tomorrow on the show. Be sure to check him out with the Ravens takes. That'll be a lot of fun.
You just say we got to get some sleep? You going to bed, man, going? You're calling it a night here?
I mean, I got to get to bed soon. I got to deal with Snyder in the morning. I got to be up at 4 a.m. with Snyder. You know what I mean? I have to prepare to be on a show with him. I have to wake up before him tomorrow. That way I can be stronger than Mitch Snyder tomorrow on the show. So.
That's a tough ask getting up earlier than Iron Mitch. You're going to have to get up real early.
Yeah, you aren't getting up earlier than him.
That's a fact. There's no shot at him. But we can act like that. Alrighty, that's gonna wrap it up. Thanks a lot for the show. I gotta get off. I gotta get my core move in for the people. So let's get on out of here. For me, Mango, DC, and Big T. See you guys later.